Hey guys, it's time to cast the controller on over, and today I'll be playing Analogue, a hate story with you. This is actually for the annual Blast of Casts, which despite my channel being on hiatus because of a whole bunch of issues at the moment, I'm still honoring. It's on the anniversary of my channel's beginning, March 29th. I release a video a day of one video game until I beat the game. And this year, I have chosen Analogue, a hate story. I know basically nothing about it. I actually got it as part of a Humble Bumble with a different game that I wanted to play. Never really touched this. Like, as of this moment, after setting everything up, it says I've played 10 minutes of it, and that's just been loading the screen we see now over and over and over to make sure I had everything tested right. So now, we're just gonna go ahead and get into it. Oops, I forgot to read that out loud because I clicked on the screen. That's okay. I'm sure I babbled long enough for you guys to read it. It was basically just a thingamajigger thing. I don't know. I might edit myself in reading that later. It was just a, hey, go to a thing, check the logs. I guess we have to do new because I've never touched the game before. Connection established. I wish my real connection would establish. This system is property of the Unified Korea Space Probe Agency, accessed by individuals not affiliated with the UQSPA or a successor organization is a felony under the UQSPA Act of 2381. This sounds very bad. Last login user Kim Hyun-Ae 221,432 days ago. Had to like write through that in my brain for a second. Error, AI personality currently disabled, reverting to command line. Available commands, download, disable AI, enable AI, help, SU, quit. This has typing? I guess I'm gonna start with help. Okay. That told me nothing. That told me nothing. This is entirely too accurate to how computers actually work for me. So there's download, disable AI, enable AI. What's SU? Virus password to use. Don't know. Well, that's not working. Download. Yes, I'm trying to put off enabling AI as long as possible. See, I can't remember if this was supposed to be an otome game or a horror game. So it could be literally either. I have no idea what I'm getting into, guys. None. But isn't that exactly what you want? Enable AI. I knew that that was going to be the one it made me do. In my opinion, anything with the spooky ambiance music like this and AI is usually not helpful. Enable AI personality. Use to select a new AI personality. Any active personality must be disabled first. Currently available personalities. The Hyun-Ae is the same as the last user. Does that mean I'm going to be dealing with the personality of a person who thinks... Like, is this AI based on someone who is in the ship who thinks they're that person? But, oh, okay. I didn't expect typing. Okay. How do I... I'm just gonna push buttons, see what happens. Okay. This tells me nothing. Download any log files you can, especially if possible, speak to the security AI. Restricted mode. How am I supposed to progress? You know what, guys? I really didn't think this would be that hard. Wait. Autosave. Good to know there's a thingamajigger. It's mocking me, but there's a thingamajigger. Can I click on it? Enable AI. Asterisk. Hyun-Ae. I might have to Google this. I really thought that this would be easy as pie. But instead I have spent 5 minutes letting you guys watch me flounder, fail, and need another synonym for that. I have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing. Ugh. Am I doing this right? Going to go quiet as I just type whatever I can type now. Yes! I really didn't have to skip that much and I could have kept talking, but apparently the last time I did that I forgot to put a space. Excuse me, but what little I know about computers, I thought spaces weren't a thing. Fine. Oh, hello, person. Suddenly this seems a lot less spooky. Hello? Oh my word, an external connection? Is someone out there? It's been so many years since I've spoken to someone. Still do not trust. Just gonna put that out there. Do not trust. Oh, gee. Well, that is such a weird way to spell G's. It is a J-E-E-Z, not G-E-E-Z-E. That's too many letters. I'm being discourteous. My apologies. Please allow me to introduce myself. She's doing the glasses thing. My name is Hyun-Ae. The star is, of course, silent. It just represents that I'm an AI. Okay, so right off the bat, she knows she's an AI. That is nice. She's still named after the last login person, which I am disturbed. And the star is silent, but the star is a, not asterisk, is it? Is it? I don't know. I control all the log-keeping systems on the Maguha. Or at least what's left of them. Please, just excuse me for 1 second. I'll give you a terminal so you can respond. There you are. Go ahead and introduce yourself. I regret everything. I can't believe that fit. You know what? No. Normally, if I were taking this seriously, I would use Kimmy. It's the name I use in everything despite it not being my name or having ever been my name. I don't know why. One long Pokemon ago, I put Kimmy down as my name, and it stuck. But for the sake of humor, because I'm still almost certain this is going to try to scare me somehow, we're going with I regret everything. It doesn't take it. Ah, geez. My apologies. I don't know why, but what you typed just looks like garbage to me. Well, you're garbage. Not taking my beautiful name. That's bad. I think there may be a problem with my language parsing systems. Ugh. Sorry, somehow your input is getting mangled between the terminal and me. I'm so terribly sorry. Let me just try something. Can you understand this? What happens if I say no? Like, if I say I have to... Okay, guys, I have to make a decision now. Am I taking this seriously or not? If I'm not taking it seriously, I say no to the question that I have to understand to answer no to, and confuse the AI. I suppose you can't read this, but I'm sorry. Let me just try something else. Can you understand this? Okay, it's just gonna be caught in a loop. Alright, I could just be clicking randomly. How would you know? Very well, we have that at least. I'm afraid if we can't get text input fixed, that'll have to suffice. I'm terribly sorry. It must be difficult being unable to say anything. It's more difficult having to give up my beautiful humor name. This might be difficult then. Well, nevertheless, as the archive system AI, I'll do my best to help you navigate these records anyway. Unfortunately, it might be a little difficult since, well, without language parsing, you won't be able to do text searches either. Don't worry though. It's my duty to provide assistance with archive functions. I'll do my best. Why do you have more belts than a Final... Well, I guess you don't have more belts than a Final Fantasy character. It's just 2 that aren't really obeying physics down here. What's with those pointy cuffs? I'm just judging on her fashion sense, even though it's a uniform. Don't mind me. Right, let me see. I'll try to provide you with a sampling of logs to start out with, and you can just show me things that you want more information on. I hope that'll be acceptable to you. That's all I can do. Well, that's all, I suppose. Pardon me, let me just build you an interface to work with so you don't have to struggle with a terminal. Very well, it's all set. And, I suppose it's a little bit awkward, but, can I just say one more thing before you get to work? No. Okay. I'm just very happy to be working with you. I've had nobody to talk to for such a long time. It got so lonely. Still do not trust. Having someone to talk to is just really, really amazing. Okay, an AI that uses really, come on, step up your word choice game. I thought maybe I never would again. Sorry about the communication barrier, but even still. Ah, geez. She's gonna keep saying geez, and every single time I see it, I'm just gonna be like, that's not how I spell it. What are you doing? I'm babbling. I won't hold you up any longer. Here's your interface. I hope it's good enough. I'm curious about one thing. Why does the AI need to look pretty, have a short that skirt? I have great English. A skirt that short. And, like, is that 2 layers of stockings? There's little bits of white right here. Anyway, I could speak with Hyun-Ae again. Access log documents. Apparently I still have dogs on the brain. I went for a walk earlier today and I got to see not 1, not 2, but 3 dogs. I'm living the best life. If you look in your interface, clearly that's just tutorial. Access log documents. Type the document ID and press enter to search. Helpful notes. Cliche to remember. Men are honored, women are abased. You can only remember one thing, remember this phrase. I actually have to Google what abased means. That is very odd. I'm not exactly gonna go out there and say that I am fantastic with language, but I am pretty good with weird words. And so it's rare whenever I encounter a word I don't know immediately, I just go, what? Let's see, the definition of abased is formal, to lower in rank, office, prestige, or esteem. Or archaic, to lower physically. As we enter among them, the great elephant makes us bow in the best style of elephantine courtesy, bending lowly down his mountain bulk with trunk abased and one leg thrust out behind. So basically, men are awesome. Men are considered awesome, women aren't. Yeah. I gotcha. What did I click? Oh, hello. Actually, I was just testing that indicator icon to see if it'd get your attention. Well, it did. Points. It worked. I noticed a thing, guys. I noticed a thing. I just thought it'd be a good way of letting you know when I have something to say. I mean, like, if I think it's super important, I can always interrupt you, but, I don't want to distract you if I can help it. I like this girl, which is why I don't trust her. She reminds me of me, and if I'm in a horror game, I'm usually secretly the villain. I mean, that'd suck, right? What kind of computer program forces herself onto right in the middle of you trying to work? So I'll try not to do that. She's referencing the Microsoft clip, I'm sure of it. Anyway, that's all. I guess it worked. Carry on and I'll set the indicator again if I want to tell you something. This first episode's gonna be a lot of tutorial. Get through it. It's a tutorial. Feeling very musical today. I'm recording for the first time in literally months, and even as I record this, I don't have any internet, so I'm hoping I get internet back before I actually have to upload any of this. But I'm just so glad to be recording again. Kim Family Tree. Let's see. That's a lot of names I can't pronounce, and I won't be trying. Nope. Pale Bride. That sounds weird. I'm guessing... I was gonna say that I was guessing that red meant they married in, but... I'm not even sure anymore. Oh, next page. Okay. Official genealogies don't list women normally, wives are noted by their family names, and daughters are omitted entirely. These are the relevant parts of what I was able to piece together from records. As far as the official genealogy is concerned, more names I can't pronounce, Yong Seok. I am aware that I'm gonna butcher this with my lovely American accent. Feel free to make fun of me for it in the comments, but just know that I'm conscious that I'm doing it wrong, even as I say it. Is the heir of Jung-soo, who knows, and was adopted in 317. Names in red are women. Dash means the name is forever unknown. Aww. That's what's happening. Just pale bride family names. Not even a family name for her. Yeah, you go you. Getting a name, Yeomin Young. Yeonmin. Oh. Okay, I guess that's both of those. Block 4. I'm waiting for this to get interesting. Like this suspenseful music. I am just totally braced for everything. Which means I'm not gonna expect it when anything happens. This. It tells me pronunciation? Oh. Very simplified rules to help you pronounce Korean names. Most consonants are pronounced as in English except for the following when they're at the beginning of words. Family names are written in their traditional English spelling. Are, may, het, I'm just gonna keep messing them up because I'm not gonna remember all this. Use, you, ooh, ooh. I is beat. E. Yeah, I'm gonna keep messing that up. What's ABC? Pronunciation. Oh, that's the thing I was just on. Then what's this? In family tree? Oh, that's just a reference. Good to know. When our family falls into decline, I just want it to be perfectly clear why. It is because Daehyun's sons are the biggest collection of idiots on the entire ship. Father says these sorts of words shouldn't be written down, calling them unfilial, but I am skeptical. I intend no disrespect to my noble ancestors, but my dead uncle is no ancestor of mine, and his family deserves no respect. Like this person, Smith Hyun-Sam. This has been in motion for years now. It was an inevitability even that any sons of Daehyun would turn out the way they did. But up until now, to anyone outside of the family, it's been well hidden. Only now is it starting to fall apart in a way that no amount of good politics can disguise. The turning point was this year. At the time I write this, I am returning from San-Hyun's funeral. In that family, there were 3 brothers, San-Hyun, the drunk, San-Kyu, the dim-witted brute, and San-Myun, who, despite being the eldest, seems to have more interest in cavorting with courtesans than creating an heir. Noticeably absent from the morning proceedings was morning proceedings. I can speak English. I didn't know how much reading this would be. I'm so sorry, guys. Was San-Kyu. What he was doing, I do not know. Knowing him, I can only guess. The affair was made even more laughable by San-Myun and his widowed mother's insistence that San-Yoon had died of natural causes. Apparently, they even found a doctor willing to put such nonsense on the official record. An unmarried noble managing to drink his way into the grave at only 30 years of age would be embarrassing enough. To brazenly try to hide the obvious, however, that will mark the beginning of the Smith family's downfall. I'm sorry, it just says fall. I embellished a bit. Okay. Block 6. I'm betting these don't go in order, which is going to drive me mad. Mute. What's that mean? Oh, that's like an AI. That's an AI. It's got the star. Smith Kyung-Siam. I don't know why you insist on putting this all into writing when we could have had a perfectly good conversation. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm happy to do it. Whatever you want. You're the man. I just think it's a little weird. I don't really get it. Anyway, as to your question, you're spot on about the pale bride being the focus of attention in the royal family. Not for the reasons you wanted, though. I don't know where you heard those rumors, but they are so not true. That girl, a troublemaker? No way. I don't see it. Like, it's not even convincing as a rumor. That girl is the most polite, most obedient person I have ever seen in my entire life. The idea of her fighting with her husband is completely unimaginable. In over a month, I've never so much as heard her raise her voice in disagreement. She is quiet, courteous, and does everything she's told without even the slightest hesitation. I'm sorry, but there's just no way you could possibly exploit any drama here. This is as undramatic a situation as it gets, especially not compared with the situation with your cousin and that courtesan. Don't get me wrong, she bugs the hell out of me. The girl is just too perfect. She's young, she's beautiful, she's demure to the point where I don't even think she has a personality of her own, but she also gets along perfectly with the queen. Of course she commands all the attention of the emperor. Like, can you blame him? I'm sorry, but there's no way he's ever going to be anything but extremely grateful to the Kim family for giving her over. Well, Pale Bride is perfect, and that's never a good thing, because either you aren't really perfect and that facade drops when you're least expecting it, or you somehow magically are and someone decides to get revenge on you for being better than they are. Also, I wonder if I'll ever get to meet this mute AI. Let's see. I should be paying attention to the dates, shouldn't I? That was year 315. This is year 321. Oh, I wonder if those are the things. 6-21A. 6-21A. Guess not. I thought maybe this was the ID code thing that it was talking about, but I'm clearly wrong. Alright, block 9. Also, no popping in from her. This is between the two. So after the funeral, but before the raging against Pale Bride. Kim Young-suk. When he died this year, my father was an absolute nobody. I don't say this to disrespect his honor, it's the complete opposite. He knew it, and that was a far worse fate than he ever deserved. It wasn't until I was maybe 16 that I even realized we were supposed to be from a noble family. Certainly we never had much of means. Father was a minor official in the interior decks, and spent his last days dealing with minor peasant disputes. Of all things, peasant disputes. With the poverty we lived in, no wonder it never really sank in that we were of noble blood, not until I met the main family for the first time. They were proud, despite the fact that I now realized they too were suffering from the same lack of royal favor, but I could tell the difference. They hadn't given up. Their son was still alive at that time, and even though he was a child half my age, I couldn't believe his confidence. It put us to shame. Absolutely put us to shame. But their son died later that year, and my father died just a few months ago. I didn't know what we were going to do, but Mother managed to convince sister's husband to adopt me into the main Kim family. I don't think it took much. So now I'm heir, just like that. Kim Young-soo's adopted son. Not that I have the time or position to be proud, but having spoken sincerely with my new father, I think we're on the same page. I'm going to study furiously, and I'm going to become a scholar official. But what I didn't tell him was my ambition. I won't settle for any peasant jobs. I'll be better than that. I'm not going to stop until I manage to fulfill my father's dream, High Magistrate. I won't settle. I will not settle. I think Young-soo expects me to disappoint him, but I damn well will not. If I'm the heir of the Kim family, I'm not going to let him down. He wants prosperity? I'll give it to him. More importantly, I'm never going to let any other Kim son feel like his family doesn't get the recognition it deserves. Never again. I swear on my ancestors. Never again. This worries me. Let's be honest and clear. Pretty much this entire game worries me so far because its music is suspense and sad. It's somehow both suspenseful and sad. And I know nothing about what's supposed to happen in the game, so everything I read is just, they're probably all dead. They probably did it to themselves. And I'm probably going to find out the AIs behind it. Oh, I can just click home. It doesn't take me home, does it? It takes me home. Okay. Block 10. Look at the... Oh, wasn't expecting to be down there. Year 321. Is that after someone complained about the bride? For 30 year 21. This is click-a-clack, click-a-da-da-da-da-da. 1-3. So this is before it. It's from Ryujehwa. To the woman who will marry my husband, but please do not think that is all of this is meant to say you will be unloved. Sorry, the order of that made it sound like I missed something somewhere. The woman who will marry my husband, but please do not think that all of this is meant to say— oh, part 7. Part 7. I'm less confused now. Do not think that all of this is meant to say you will be unloved. You may be a second wife, but you are still the daughter of a noble house, and that is a precious gift to the Ryu family. My husband has faith that you will bring him a son, and this means all the world to him. Nor am I jealous, for you will receive a heavy burden on our house, and will relieve a heavy burden on our house, and for that I am grateful. As proof of his affection for you, let me share with you one secret which I have been permitted to tell only you. In honor of you, my husband, in his capacity as Captain and Emperor, has permanently changed his admin password to your birth name. Ooh. So if I find out who the letter is addressed to and her birth name, I will have that password. I feel like I'm going to need a notebook for this. And I'm suddenly feeling like this might be a lot more complicated than I meant it to be, which is going to bode very well for that every episode until it's done thing. But nonetheless, onward we go. My new sister, you will be brought into the Ryu family not as a mere lowly woman, but a symbol of power in the inner chambers. You will not only represent the continuation of the Ryu bloodline by providing a son, but your very name will represent the power of the captain's computer. Understand this, Pale Bride. Your duty may be great, but you will be loved. Aww, I hope that's legit. Is that in an email? Sounds like the kind of thing someone would write to try to convince themselves. I hope that's legit. Can I actually type these things in somewhere? Let's see. What happens if I click this? Will she talk to me? Click on once you open a document, show me whatever it is, which subject you wish to know more about. Yeah, I've heard that all already. You repeated yourself. That's, well, kind of the problem with computers. They tend to respond the same way to things. I'm sorry, I'm afraid I can't help it. Let me change something to try to make things less confusing for me. Okay. A weird quirk I have to accept. We all have weird quirks we have to accept with people, don't we? No message. What's that? Ah, of course. The last person to hold the titles Captain and Emperor on the ship was Ryun-Ae. Which of the captain's wives do you wish to know more about? I could have been doing this on all the other blocks, and I only just clicked the thing. I am so bright. Very well. She wrote a lot, so this is going to be tricky to filter. I guess we'll just start at the top and let you figure out what's important. I don't understand what just happened. Wasn't she going to tell me a thing? Very well. I don't have much in her that I think you would find relevant, though. Let's see. Here, how about this? Let's just take me back to the thing. I gotcha. Okay. Speak with Hyun-Ae. I don't understand how to play this game. Don't understand how to play this game. What's that? Unread messages. Oh, more popped up? The month of good fortune. The second month of the 319th year was one of the great fortune for the Kim family. While on official business, the captain and Emperor Ryu confided in me that he wished that I had a daughter of marriage age to give him to take as a second wife. His first wife had been unable to provide a son and was becoming increasingly concerned that she never would. At the start of the month, I had no daughter in my family to give. Only my only son, young Yolk, was without child, yet it was the perfect opportunity. This may sound fantastical, but I swear it is true. Passed on through the generations of the main branch of the Kim family is a giant egg of translucent luster, such that one can see the form of a sleeping child inside. What? Oh my god, an egg person. There's an egg person? It's hard enough for me to fathom the fact this is apparently nobles and peasants on a giant ship that there's nobody on anymore. But there's an egg person and you let her marry the emperor? Okay. I'm back. Isn't this like a recurring thing in anime? I can think of at least one anime that had egg people. She is known as the Pale Bride for the inscription on the egg, and she was entrusted into our family to be awakened during a time of great prosperity. Yet as any man knows, prosperity is seized, not waited on. A daughter to provide the emperor with a son would elevate the family above the other noble house once and for all. Considering this, I promised the emperor that I did have a daughter that would soon be of marriage age to present him. Then I smashed the egg such that the Pale Bride passed through the Kim family for years, could be adopted as my own daughter. You smashed the egg? What if she wasn't, like, fully baked yet? What if you just got an egg yolk shaped like a person? This does not sound like a smart. She is a strange child, but will make a fine wife for the emperor. What good fortune this means. Do you even know if she can reproduce? She came from an egg. What if she just lays him an egg? I'm so confused right now. Also, did more blocks just pop up when I read the other ones? Broken Promise, the Pale Bride. Oh dear. Oh dear. I actually get to hear from her herself. Dear Diary. Last week I woke up from cryostasis. Before I went in, Father promised me that when I woke up in the future, they'd have medicine again. That I'd finally get better. That I might not see him again, but his descendants would make everything right. But the future broke his promise. I'm scared and confused, and I don't get what happened. I think there was a big disaster while I was in stasis or something. Everyone's so uneducated and stupid. Father and Mother were kind of dumb at times, but the guy who woke me up, he might be named Kim, but he's nothing like them. Father was wrong. Nothing's better. The future sucks. Is this the same demure person with no personality? I love it. Plot twist. She has a personality. Insufferable child. Young-Soo's wife. Dearest Mother, do you recall how in my last letter I mentioned the Pale Bride being brought into the household? I take back any kind words I might have said about her. That awful child is nothing but the most insufferable person I have ever met. I just thought I would have a little more time of peace. With Young-Soo's adopted mother visiting her own family, I have been given full responsibility over that miserable child. What happened to my promised domestic bliss? She is in trouble so often, one would think she were a boy. She acts like one too. I suppose it can't be helped. She says she lived her first 12 years in the past, and I can see it. She certainly acts as though she's from a less civilized time. I love the contradiction there of her being like, everyone's so stupid here, and someone talking about her like she clearly comes from an uncivilized time. Like, everything changes but stays the same. Just last night, she made a huge scene at dinner time. She kept trying to rudely leave the table in front of Young-Suk and father-in-law, loudly insisting that she was too sick to eat. She said this before, too. I was worried, so I had a doctor examine her. She is, of course, in perfect health. When I asked why she thought otherwise, she started talking about how pale and thin she was. She's not truly unhealthy. All she was doing was rubbing it in that she is far more delicate and beautiful than I. What a cruel little child. Why must she be so spiteful to me? Maybe she is sick. I mean, that doesn't exactly sound like I don't know. I don't know. Truly, I have no idea. Confidence. Ryu Jehua. When my husband asked what I thought of the idea of him taking a new wife, I was presented him with the weakest of smiles, but said that I thought it was a good idea if he thought so. That I would be happy if a younger woman were brought in to relieve me the pressure. That I would be happy if a younger woman were to relieve me of the pressure of bringing him a son. I have no doubt that this is the answer he wanted me to give, with a convincing enough expression to go along with it. If there is one thing I am confident in, it is my ability to read exactly what my husband wants to hear. Having heard that the girl he is considering is only 13 years of age, however, it is certain that I can have no confidence in any other thing. He'll take her in a few years, right when she's marriage age. She will be at the peak of her beauty and won't have matured too much. Doubtlessly, unlike me, she will have no problem delivering the son he needs. Perhaps jealousy is unbecoming of me, but it is pragmatic too. When we were young, his affections for me were so strong, but now that we are both old, how could I possibly compete with a young bride? Aww. Aww, Ye Hua, I'm so sorry. You're probably gonna get trampled on. The first wife always does in stories like this. Whatever happened to block 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, all those? Type the document ID and press enter to search. I still want to see what one of these things 4-SM921. Let me see. 4-SM921. Did it work? Aha! I mean, that just brought it back to what I'd already read, but good to know it worked. Let's see what clicking on her right now does. The families and the stories are really, really interesting. I'm just wondering where the game part is? Is this how this is supposed to be? Well, here's the background, I suppose. There were 2 major noble families on the Menghuo. The Kims were the big one, as I'm sure you can see. The Smiths were the other major family, but I'm afraid I can't really tell you very much about them. They were the most important family on the ship until just before the end. The High Magistrate was a Smith until the very last year, even. I can give you a little bit about them for reference so you can see who the Kim men thought their big enemy was. The Smiths didn't really matter very much at the end, so I don't know much about them. I certainly never met any of them, so I'm just going off what I've read. Here, this should give you an idea of what I mean. Yeah, just take me back to the thingy that I already read. More, I guess. Let's grayed out, so there's nothing new for her to say to me. Anyway, this episode's gone on a little bit long, and I'm probably going to get these around 45 minutes just because it's so much of reading, and I want you to actually have some content from me. But I do believe that that's going to mark the end of my turn this time. Let me just cast the controller on back to you, and hope you pass along again soon. Bye-bye, guys, and thanks for watching.